first weekend of June. We're out here again with the puppy over here. So now June begins the big push to fill in ruts with dirt, which is a lot of fun when it's 88 degrees out. I didn't even get started today until about 5 o'clock. It was still deadly hot then, but the sun did start going down and it got a little easier. So this is going to be a slow going process in June. Then, wow, that's a big area, but that's not the whole of it. There's other ruts hiding around here. It's hard to see where the grass is a little greener right there and looks a little taller. That's another big long rut. There's other ruts and low spots that basically what I'm doing right now at this stage is mapping it out. And of course, the big question of the month is how far will this pile of dirt go? This was 5 cubic yards. You can see I'm put a significant dent into it just today, just with what you saw out there. Let's do the run. Right here, rut number 1, right next to the pile. Side yard, got that filled in. Okay, now we're coming up on the second rut. This was a big wider rut over here. Got that filled in. Now we're getting to an area of holes, like legit holes. Hole number 1, hole number 2. These are spots where when they were cutting the tree down, like huge limbs were falling thunk onto the ground. Thunk. Thunk. So yeah, we got our little area of holes. That there. Okay, and so that's all new. Here is a new rut in the back part of the yard that I did today. Oh yeah, and I got another hole over here. This was old. This was from a old tree trunk that rotted away, tree stump, years ago, decades ago. I finally filled that in. There's the old ruts from yesterday. I sprayed all these down with water so they're more visible. This is the site of Dad's old shed. I did have to fill that in with some topsoil. And there was some, I don't know what this is, clover maybe, that was volunteering in this little island space, but we filled that in. So here's a disgruntled kitty. I think he wants some attention. Hello, disgruntled kitty. I'll be with you in a minute. So there we go. Yeah, lots of spaces. And then another kind of a legacy hole over here. I don't know why this spot had all these little low holes and ruts in this one area. It's been like that since before I moved back here in 2014, but I finally filled that in. This is the spot of Mauli's grave. She was one of my older cats who died in 2020. Hello, kitty. Hello, kitty. It's another weekend, and now I'm going to show you my overly complicated irrigation system. So we got a timer coming right off the hose bib here. We got zone 1 and zone 2. Zone 1, this orange hose simply goes over to here. This is the site I found out. There used to be a birch tree here years ago that was cut down in 1997. That's why this area had to be filled in. I didn't know that last week. So we've got just a small area sprinkler here that will turn on and hopefully reach the grass seed. And as you can see, I'm seeding this stuff this weekend. Zone 2, the red hose, goes way out there to a 3-zone timer. So now this is zone 2A, 2B, and 2C. So zone 2A goes over to this sprinkler, which can cover this barbecue pit area that used to be there. That's grass mat. But it can also hit several of these ruts. I think I was showing you that last week. So these, like 3 ruts here, were already seeded last week. I just seeded that hole. I will be putting dirt over this seed. And then it can reach to about over to here to this rut, that one sprinkler. Zone 2B, of course, just goes over to Natalie and bubbles Natalie. And now Zone 2C is going to go over to another sprinkler. I haven't figured out exactly where this one needs to be yet, but I'm thinking it should be able to hit kind of these holes over here, this space over here, and there's some stuff there, and then hopefully even get this right here. Okay, 8:35 p.m. is when this was programmed to turn on, Zone 1, and it is working. No leaks over here by the timer. And it is getting the whole footprint of the birch tree, and then also here. Okay, Zone 2 should kick on. There it goes, I heard it. Let's go look. Okay, water should be, the supply should be active to this now, but we still have to wait till 9 o'clock for it to turn on Zone 2A, so we'll be back in a minute. Alright, Zone A turned on successfully. And I saw some lightning bugs out here. It's the 10th of June. Okay, after this runs, then it's going to be the bubbler for the tree. And then the last one is the one I have to pay attention to because I want to make sure it's covering the area that it needs to cover. So I'll get back to you when we get to that. All right, the bubbler did kick on. So it's going to go for 5 minutes and then the main event. Oh, there it goes. There it goes. Whoa, I'm gonna get wet. All right, we'll assess what area it's covering and shift it around a little bit. I'll get back to you. Okay, I've repositioned. I think this is about the best we can do. It's getting all those holes and ruts over there, and it is getting hard to see the site of the old shed pretty good. The sacrifice here is that we're not getting all of this rut that's over here by the dog yard that was left by the chipper when they were cutting the tree down. So we're getting part of it though. I wanted to do a follow-up to the last video about quick connects. Look at that, I just did that with one hand. That is like a normal hose fitting with the, the normal nut that you would screw on to the other part, which is a giant pain in the ass. These things, now I can't put it back on. Maybe I can with one hand. Oh, I think I did. Okay. Yeah, did you see how easy that was? I've even got one over here on this old hose bib that barely works. It's all busted, but just in case I need it, I've got one. This nozzle's ready to snap into any one of those hoses. I've got them on the ends, for little sprinkler heads and stuff. If you do anything with a hose, get them. They are cheap. They are not expensive. Even if you just got one hose, it just makes your life so much easier, so much less of a hassle. I was saying in a previous video how, I have to break all this down when I need to mow. That makes that a ton easier for me with this crazy situation I'm in where, I can just pluck them off and go roll them up in different spots, mow, and then just plug them all back together. It's not that big a deal. Nowhere near as big a deal as it would be if I was just screwing them on with channel locks. Oh my God. All right, I'm gonna get back to it out here. Getting a couple things done. I'll do another, Alright, in previous videos, many videos this year, you could see that there was a juniper tree, evergreen, growing right over here where the jungle gym used to be, near where the fire pit is now. And I bought this wood chipper back in March, late March, to cut that down in other trees, to chip up the branches so that I don't have to ever have another brush pile anywhere in the yard. And it's only today that I finally got gas and oil in the thing. And as you saw in the previous video, very briefly, I did get it running. So I finally cut down this juniper, which I've been wanting to do since before we cut down these other trees. And now I'm going to chip up the branches, but I've only got 2 hands and I don't have a tripod, so you're not going to see this run, but it doesn't matter because it's too loud anyway. So I'll get back to you in a bit here. Okay, there you go. Oh God, I'm sweating. It's so hot out here today. All of those branches turned into this one little pile here. Here is the trunk of that tree. I will be cutting that up. I created a little space here. I've got like a little wood rack. That's where I'm going to put all the wood. There is like kindling inside the turtle. And I have mats down to keep grass and weeds from growing up underneath this stuff. There are other trees that need to come down. This one, these 3, and someday even these ones over here. They're much bigger. They'll be more challenging. That one too. And I may even go for this double tree and maybe some of these over on this fence line eventually. Now, I don't know why this thing dumps it so close to the ground. I could not get the wheelbarrow under there. So in the future, I guess I'll put a tarp down or something when I do this. But yeah, this is my new strategy for no more brush pile ever again in my life, as long as I can keep this thing maintained and running properly. Well, this is a grass update. So it's been a little while since I started doing this, but we've got grass growing down here. This is where the, what was it, the birch tree was on this site over here. So we've got grass coming in here. And over on this other little neighboring spot here, you can see new grass. And yeah, like look over here, there's grass coming in. It's coming in on this, over here on this rut. Here comes the kitty in those holes there. Grass is coming in. Even along, you know, the edges of the border here. Remember when I had put seed there? And this rut, that's all new. That's some of the first stuff that started coming in. All along this rut. It's hard to see, but it's there. All along here. Again, if you get close up, you can see it better. This hole where there was an old cherry tree, even that's starting to get little tiny bladlings. It's in both these 2 ruts. Again, just barely starting to come in. And even this other longer one, again, very small blades, just starting out. This grass seed mat on the site of the old shed is starting to come up with little blades as well. So, and over here, same deal. Even kind of in this area, you can see it a little bit. Again, you have to get close up, but it's there. And in these little holes, this little hole here, did I already cover that one? Anyway, I don't know, what has it been, a week or 2? But yeah, it's getting sprinkled twice a day, and it is definitely coming along. So in another 2-3 weeks, a month, it should be fully in there and fully mowable and everything else. So that is the update here on Juneteenth. I just mowed yesterday, so let's take a walk around and look at things now that all the sprinklers have been put away for a long time and we've been getting some regular rain. I don't know why this spot's like getting a little brown. I don't know, but I'm sure it's fine if we get more rain. You've seen all this back here. We've got some festive music going on. And these branches, by the way, I'm gonna be cutting these trees down one of these days. But anyway, so we're back here in the back. Even this area between Natalie and the tree stump is sort of filling itself in. There was a lot more dirt here than there is now. Anyway, yeah, so over here, where the tree fell in the neighbor's yard, it had left a couple holes there that I filled in and put grass in, and even those have filled in. Yeah, look at how just sprawling, even green carpet it is now. It's been like this for a while. This tree, I decided I'm gonna let it stay, see what it does. I put a little, I think, didn't I do a video about that? Maybe I didn't. Yeah, I put a little thingy and some dirt at the bottom of it to make it semi-pretty. And here's our utility space. This whole hill really filled in nicely. This used to be nothing but like dirt and weeds. And now it's just thick grass, and it's great. The stump is completely surrounded and filled in with grass. All these spots where I pulled out like hunks of concrete out of the grass here, they've all filled in. It's really easy to mow over here now. Of course, there's the shed and everything. Now this part of the yard. Now over here, I still have yet to do that. And then, oh yeah, we should talk about that. That is what's left of my topsoil pile. You know, it's just been sitting here because it's been too hot to do anything. And this is what happens in the Midwest when you leave a pile of dirt. Or if you have any sort of exposed dirt anywhere, this is what happens. Shit just starts growing. Don't know where the seeds came from, don't know, you know, it just all of a sudden overnight, don't know what species these are, just weeds just bam appear. So I'm gonna have to cut those down or whatever. But that is my topsoil pile. And over here, yeah, I'm waiting till it cools off in September to seed this area and use up the rest of that. But anyway, so yeah, there had been ruts over here and stuff. This is all completely filled in. You'd never know. I even cleaned up under this table yesterday a little bit as far as mowing goes. Let's take one last look. We're gonna head over to where the where that birch tree used to be. And yeah, it's just, I mean, that was already looking good the last time I did a video about this. But it is just very full and green now. Unfortunately, you guys, I will be heading to Home Depot today because this door finally failed yesterday. Look at that. It just, the eye bolt just ripped right out of there when I tried to open it up. So, 4.5 years, rest in peace, hatch door 1.0.